Good morning and welcome to the Culture-Byte Podcast. I am Zodiac here with my amazing cast. If you'd all introduce yourselves.
Colt 45.
NegativeBackFlow.
G Squared.
And Dovahkiin.
Boo! Okay. Before we get onto our topic, full disclaimer, we are inside the OTG headquarters. You may hear things like the office phone ringing, people coming in, things that are out of our control. And I'll edit out that the best I can as we go along. Today's topic is the future of gaming, preferably the next 20 years in gaming. So nothing like cybernetic arm implants that let you go into the dreams of games.
I mean, technically, brain reading is a thing right now. So, I mean,
Definitely a thing. Definitely a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Bread, like brains are. I was about to say bread is being read.
Bread, I will read your bread.
Hey, there's a game called I Am Toast.
No, that's so far off topic. Wow.
But no, actually, I can to kick that off. I think virtual reality gaming in the home is about to be a big thing. I believe it's called the omnidirectional pad. It's basically a stand that comes with a pair of special shoes that you can order in any size, and as you walk within it, your character moves as well, and it picks up walking and running,
crouching,
all that. And then there's a set of, I can't remember the name, but it's for your arms and hands, which pick up finger movement, so you can reach out and pick up items within the virtual world. And then there's the Morpheus, Oculus Rift, and all that, which immerses you in that world. So full body virtual reality is right around the corner. The
insane thing about the Omni is its estimated price point, which is around $300 to $500.
That's enough for an Xbox.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. The only issue I see is the space it requires.
Honestly, in the space of where your computer desktop is, your office kind of desk, things like that, you can put it in a corner. It doesn't take up that much room. It's just, whereas the Oculus is about with shipping, handling, and all that, you're going to be estimating about $400.
Yeah.
The omnidirectional pad, last I checked,
it was what, $300 to $500?
$300 to $500. Not to mention the special shoes you have to order as well. I don't know if those come in package or if they're separate, but we'll go ahead and just say altogether another $500. That's $1,000 right there. Not to mention, if you want the ones for your arms and hands, I believe that's another $400.
So do you think the Omni actually has a predominant future? Personally, I don't see a lot of people. I see a lot of people buying it to try it, or maybe even certain places would rent one out. But I see them, yay! I'm in Battlefield. I don't want to do this. Running, and then dropping it. Like that.
Well, see,
because that requires a little bit more commitment. It's cool at first, but the actual active part of it seems like it would require a lot more commitment.
I personally don't think that. You know what? It's just personal opinion. I don't want gimmicks. I would never even want to jump on that thing. Sorry. I don't want this cool feeling for a day or two. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. And you know what? I kind of got the same feeling from the Kinect. You know what I mean? Where for both, for the Kinect and Sony's Play camera, okay? It was cool at first because I can do things on it, but then it was just there's no support for it. If you don't have developers supporting anything for it, then that's not going to support the actual future of gaming. Gamers, I'll speak for myself, I want an immersive experience. I want to be able to sit at a table virtually and possibly have dinner, play cards, or do something at that table. If I wanted to have a transaction in a tavern for some reason, and I'm like, I want a beer, I want your ale or whatever the craziness may be. I think the future of gaming will eventually go to that you could have that transaction. It may be a first step, but you can actually throw gold on the counter and someone takes that gold and it's like a real world transaction.
Oculus Rift meets the face rig, your ass character,
right, sitting
at a table. They can be incorporated into a lot of things, like business things first and then gameplay things second.
Well, with this full sensory VR experience, and for speaking for myself, I'd love a game that would have me get up and actually run, or say in an MMO, Like, imagine a game like Final Fantasy XIV, whereas you are the tank. It's not just pressing 1, 2, 3, or the corresponding buttons. It's you are physically moving, you are physically dodging, you are physically attacking. I would love that. I would eat that up. I would eat that up.
But
you get
30 minutes in a
too
raid.
with the tank.
Get pretty tired.
30 minutes in the raid. Where's our tank? Oh, he's taking a breather. He'll be back in like 5. Yeah, he's just like, you can hear him. Hey, you okay?
No. The tank. Hey, where's the tank? He just he had to step out for a second because he actually punched a hole in his TV and his house is on fire right now.
Well, see, that's the glory thing. The glorious thing about it. There is no. Yeah, I got a toothpick in my mouth, and that's why they're laughing. But hold on, it's more sophisticated. But the glorious thing about it is that there is no, throwing my Wiimote through the TV screen.
Oh yes, there is, sir.
No, there isn't.
Your
yes,
fists.
there is. You're gonna.
How am I going?
What are you tanking with?
Huh? My left hand is holding nothing. My right hand is holding nothing. However, inside the game, my left hand is holding the sword, my right hand is holding the shield, and I'm flailing about wildly.
Exactly.
However, I am in an open space. I have nothing nearby me. There is no TV nearby me. There's nothing in my hands that I could suddenly turn into a projectile.
If someone just
There's
comes
a crowd of
in
people
your
around you.
room,
Recording
they're
you,
just
though.
going to see a
man.
madman raving.
Yeah.
I'm going to get him.
That's why you live with other gamers, because you live with people who aren't gaming. They're just going to see, the lawnmower man going, oh!
Yeah. So, all right, okay. I personally want to see in the future holograms. I would rather play that would be a good step for me, because if I had a table, like a sandbox-like table that I could actually, or some type of projection device that for sure would allow me to have that 3D experience there. I would love to play chess with 3D holograms, or run through Mario 64 for some reason with holograms. Only for the fact that gaming, when it comes to VR, in some ways either it's going to require too many devices, or it's just going to take away other people being able to play with you as well too. I feel as if the future of gaming is going to go singular. It's going to be more about the personal
one user than the overall unit. Which, from Microsoft's HoloLens, it seems like the complete reverse.
About that.
The complete reverse of VR. Because I see what you're saying. Because, even games that aren't even meant for computers, like Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic.
Right.
You can play that on a hologram where your cards are alive, your characters are actually running through this mountain, or you can see the landscapes, the dynamics of it. It has a lot more possibilities than. I'd say that they both have equal amount of potential and possibilities in their own right, but I see holograms being more open through a family unit type environment.
I have to say those holographic lenses that Microsoft is developing, I'd buy a pair.
Yeah, no, I would.
I would buy a pair and play Minecraft in my house.
Yeah, yes. I would too. Cool. But again, this is just personally me. I think the future of gaming is going to that singular level, and I'm honestly kind of worried about it, because organizations like OTG or anything like that wouldn't even exist if we didn't have that one-on-one interaction. And I can honestly see a lot of people not being here as often, not sharing their experiences with other people because they're caught up in some other world. And for example, freaking NegativeBackFlow just schooled me the last week of this game called Second Life, and I was blown away that this even existed since 2009, and that should be an example of how deep the actual human mind can go. You know what I mean? And if people are willing to go out of their way to not be with other people in real life and be with people online, I can honestly say if these experiences become more and more, they become more like a drug and more exciting and more, you can't wait to get home. Yeah, you can't wait to get home to do that. That's what I worry about. I think the future of gaming is going to go more individual.
I already do that now with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to. But caveat to that,
Okay.
The waifu, she joins you in Final Fantasy and everything.
Very true.
And it's very easy to invite somebody else in it because it's either on console and PC. You're talking about devices that people would particularly have to own or have.
I would have to have 2 of those in order for us
exactly.
to play together. Right.
And that's where the price point and everything, because these things don't become cheap. Advancements in technology aren't cheap. They never will be.
Oh, but looks like it's pouring for me for the rest of my life. I'm sorry, Amberly. I love you.
I will say...
Definitely not sharing this podcast with her.
No, she's going to listen. She's going to listen to this, and she's going to be like, "You ass!"
All right.
But there is that potential for socializing, not to an extreme extent with VR, but there are games like it's like Keep Talking or Don't Explode. I believe that's the name.
What?
It's a game for the Oculus Rift and other VR headsets where you have to print out a manual that's like a Final Fantasy game manual worth of like different codes, different symbols, and the person wearing the Oculus Rift or VR device has to defuse a bomb, and their job is to tell the person with the codes what this symbol looks like, where it is, and they talk back and forth. You have 30 seconds to cut the right wire to match the right symbol to go through this giant book or kablooey. It's very intense.
That sounds way too technical.
It just
like,
but there is that outreach for
a
social experience with.
The future of gaming, if it's not simple for other people to get into, it's not going to go full VR. It really isn't. I don't see it going that way, because and I think that's where like Nintendo capitalizes, because they're just like, they'll say all day, we make great games, why would you just want to be by yourself?
Nintendo's
in VR.
At least Miyamoto has said that he is not a fan of VR.
Right.
He tried the Oculus Rift, not a fan.
Right.
So I don't see Nintendo going that way.
So with that being said, who would we imagine being the industry leader in VR for our world of gaming?
I would say it's Sony or Valve trying.
I'd have to say Sony.
Sony? Yeah. I think...
Or Facebook.
You know what? I would have to agree, Sony, because the Japanese are willing to try out of the world things before like Americans do. Yeah. And that's just goes to show in the industry. Like Japanese, like if you go and you just look at Japan on YouTube, they have vending machines for like
panties.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like crazy stuff like that, because they're not afraid to dig down deep. There isn't that censorship like Americans would have.
Yeah, but they won't show a penis on their porn channels, though. That's the only thing. That's the only thing.
You have brought up that way too much for this podcast. Like I gotta change the title now.
Not that I'm into that, by the way.
But
as
you're looking around
looks
the room like you just hid something. So we're just gonna drop that.
Okay.
Completely.
Okay.
Why? God.
But seriously, he's right though. The Japanese are willing to kind of put themselves out there and try new things, and virtual reality is about to be a whole new world for gaming media, and I see them really pushing ahead forward to try and see what they could do with that.
And I've liked Sony's progress so far with even movement controls. Whenever the PS Move, like the copy of the Wii, came out, they had like this battle arena game that you could get, and it was really neat. You had a sword, shield, bow and arrow, whatever. You actually had to move, and the combat was pretty fluid for a tech demo. They really didn't do anything with that though, and that's the shame. They had the potential to make something great and innovative that never did anything.
But you know what the thing is money's always going to be that grand, like the thing that ultimately decides what direction they're going to move. For example, like any type of motion sensing wouldn't have taken off without Nintendo saying we could do it with this little simple Wii. I remember when the Wii was just like this next gen experience for people, and Wiis were really hard to find. You're talking about the cheapest next gen console, $200 at the time, and people were fighting to have a Wii just because of the motion sensing. So and then Microsoft and Sony tried to follow up with it and
failed. Well, Microsoft did.
Microsoft did, yeah.
They failed immensely. I had to connect.
Yeah.
I had to connect for a while. When it first came out, I had a buddy. He had a 6-figure bank account, and he was like, "Hey, TJ, what do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, I want to try Connect.
Boom! Oh my god!
The Connect in every game that was released
for
with it.
Connect.
Well, you just wasted a Dragon Ball with it.
It was
like Ferrari.
He really did.
I don't need
You
it.
just
I don't need that. But
What
anyway,
is your wish? I want a Microsoft Connect.
Anyway, like it was a horrible experience. Like jumping all over the place and all that. It was hardly reading what I was doing.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I was the room that you had to be in had to be huge,
Yep.
or it wouldn't pick it up correctly.
Time to
Yeah,
move your
crazy.
couch.
Yeah,
Crazy. But with that being said, we're actually going to close out the topic and actually move on to the bonus question. Okay.
Oh snap! I'm scared.
Cha-cha! The bonus question. All right. So, the thing is that we have video games that are very personal to us. Okay, but oftentimes we like to keep it personal to ourselves and not really share it with the world because we enjoy that personal experience. So, for example, it's kind of like, you find out about a new band or you find out about a new piece of music before it goes mainstream and you're just like, dude, I totally love them. And then it goes mainstream and then you're like, I really can't just get down with you guys the same way that I did before. You know what I mean? So
I was into Naruto before it went mainstream.
yeah, basically, exactly. So let's take that same concept and apply it to video games. What video game do you have that that every time you mention it, someone's just like either never heard of it before, or they have never played it before, or anything like that? They've heard it but never played it before, and you're kind of happy about that. It's like you're being selfish with it because you're just like, oh, I'm one of the cool kids in my own mind. I'll start off first, okay? Valkyrie Profile, PlayStation 1. Barely anyone I've talked to has ever played Valkyrie Profile, okay? It's an amazing RPG. And Valkyrie Profile 2 is awesome as well, too, and people have never played it. So when people don't say anything about it, I'm like, hey, cool. I actually enjoy it. I will keep it from the world. I care not. I love this game.
You know what? It was big in the arcades, but when it went into console, like nobody really knew what it was. Virtual On.
What?
Yes.
Virtual
On.
What is that?
See, exactly.
I'm probably not going to find footage of this.
But you're a cool kid because only certain people know about
exactly. it. Virtual On was the precursor, I believe. No, it came after MechWarrior. But no, it was basically Gundams beating the crap out of each other.
Okay, that sounds
Right.
fun. Now you have my
Right.
interest.
And it was a 3D huge arena in the arcade. One player sat to the left, one player sat to the right.
Oh my god, you just done the thing.
Go ahead.
One player sat to the left, one player sat to the right, and they were divided by a screen. And it was basically twin joystick piloting this huge robot fighting each other to the death. And oh my god, when it came to the home console for the Sega Saturn, God rest their soul, my brother and I played the crap out of this game. It was on a teaser demo that they gave to us, that because Sega Saturn would release one every month, and oh my goodness, it was the only game we played. Two giant robots beating the crap out of each other, and one of them was named Temjin, and so we just called it TJ, and I just played it all the time.
That is the epitome of selfish gaming.
Exactly.
Now it's me. I'm not even playing it. That's me.
Exactly. And I sucked as that robot too.
How about you, Dovahkiin?
I honestly don't think I have one of those because
No,
I was
you-
always someone who got the game that their friends were all playing. So.
Bah! You garbage, Rocky.
But you know
I
what?
mean, I
But you
never
know
had
what?
money to
I'll
buy
tell you
games.
this. Dovahkiin, when you have a conversation about like Call of Duty Zombies, he likes Call of Duty
Oh,
Zombies.
God.
But
Yes.
if you trash on it, he's like, I don't care. I love it. So you
what
can
I
honestly
mean.
say you're kind of selfish with that one. You're
Well,
just
yeah,
like,
but that's
regardless
blowing
of the
up,
world. Yeah, it went mainstream, but
Yeah.
Zombies, even though it blew up, they're not advertising it to like the main story or anything. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like your little insider thing. You're
Yeah.
like, you speak zombies, it's either somebody likes it or they don't, and you're just like, you like zombies? I like zombies? Yeah, I like zombies. Like,
Yeah.
and then there'll be that one person in the middle like, zombie sucks, and then you're just like,
I love how you point at me.
Okay.
yeah, we love
That's what
zombies.
I do.
Yeah. So I'll speak for Dovahkiin. Don't worry, I got you.
God.
What you got?
I'd probably say like
Say Call of Duty, I'm gonna hit you.
Go ahead.
when Elder Scrolls like first came out, I was one of the first ones to get it because my cousin showed me, and my brothers didn't know what it was, and I owned it. They were asking me to play it, and I was just so selfish about it. I'd sit in my room all day and play it.
Are you talking about Skyrim?
Yeah.
No, not Skyrim. You're talking about like Morrowind, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had that one too.
Oblivion.
Or you're talking about the Elder Scrolls series.
The series, yeah.
So you've done that. You're really selfish with all of them, even up to Skyrim.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
See, I was surprised.
I want the next one.
I was supposed to stab him if he said Call of Duty.
Okay.
If you said anything with Call of Duty.
He was actually
Call
reading
of
from a
Duty.
script.
What about you, Zodes?
God, I think partially games like there's a few games like Earthbound. I like, and I'm kind of selfish with. So I enjoy Earthbound. I enjoy the Mother series. Then you have things like Papers, Please, Thomas Was Alone.
Right.
That I enjoy. That are niche indie titles.
Have you ever heard of a game called Please Don't Touch Anything?
No.
Yes.
That's the name of the game. It's on sale right now. That, and I'm gonna plug Lisa. I've been having so much fun with this game. If you like Earthbound, play Lisa. But aside from that, Don't Touch Anything is literally that. It is, you are faced with a panel with a screen linked to a city with a big red button in front of you. Pushing that button.
Are you gonna spoil it for everyone?
No.
Their experience?
No.
You gonna do that to me? And
Pushing that
everyone's
button does a myriad of things, and that's what I'm gonna leave it at.
Okay.
Okay. So like niche things like that, but I'd have to say ultimately, even though it sucks, even though it's regarded as a very bad game, but I feel like it did a lot, would be the Indigo Prophecy, because it led to Heavy Rain, it led to even Beyond Two Souls, but it was the first like innovative where you're a part of the story from all angles, and and not a lot of people get that because the story becomes poop, but I kind of regard that as like something really really awesome.
If they would make a horror game in that exact manner,
it's the cabin. What's that one? We saw it at the PS Sony. Whenever they were doing the 20th. No, not the Forest. The 20th anniversary. PlayStation.
I know what you're talking about.
Live stream.
The next gen.
Heavy Rain, where you're a bunch of college students in a cabin.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to play that.
no, I don't want a psycho killer sort of thing. I want a supernatural horror game that pits me up against some sort of unseeable. Give me Silent Hill in that format.
You're talking about Alan
PG.
Wake.
No.
Yeah, but that would definitely be mine. And since everyone's said their stuff, Colt, you sure you want to do Elder Scrolls and not Call of Duty? Okay. So
It's good man. Good man.
without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please leave a comment on like what games you hold sacred as well, because we're always looking for things to play, things to try. Share this with your friends if you find this an interesting subject, and we definitely appreciate it. We'll be back next week with a new episode, so stay tuned. If everyone wants to sign out with it.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, I just can't believe no one knows who Lynette is. No one's gonna know who. I love Lynette. She's my bae.